Thank you very much. The Honorable Philip Ruddock, Mrs. Ruddock, Inocio, the Board of Directors of 2000 FM, or is it 200 FM? Broadcasters, ladies and gentlemen. It is really a wonderful feeling that I have now, standing in front of this microphone, speaking on this occasion, and I feel really privileged for it. As you heard, I've had a long association with ethnic radio, as it was originally called. And if I may be allowed to reflect on that, some of you may not know that until 1973, you were not in fact permitted to broadcast under the Broadcasting Act. You are not permitted to broadcast in any language other than English, unless whatever you said was immediately preceded or following by an exact translation of what was said in another language. Now, some of the pioneers, like Mama Lena, who used to run an Italian program on commercial radio, and I used to listen to it because it was in the early 70s, it was the only opportunity you had to listen to music other than English on local radio. It was quite interesting because she used to put on advertisements for furniture shops, and they were repeated in Italian and in English. It was quite funny. I think it was as entertaining as the program itself. But then came 1975, and the experimental ethnic radio stations were established, 2EA in Sydney, 3EA in Melbourne, I think preceded by only a few weeks by a community station in Adelaide. And of course, you have had Double Z, 3ZZ running in Canberra. But what is important, and what probably many of you did not know, was the reason why radio stations 2EA and 3EA were established. The Whitlam government at the time wanted to introduce universal health system. Now, I know this because I was involved in SBS from the beginning. And they wanted to reach and get the support of a particular socio-economic range of people. And their research showed that there were hundreds of thousands of people in Sydney and Melbourne who were not fluent in English, and that this message, the political message to establish Medicare or Medibank, would not get to them. So the brilliant idea, and Al Grasby came up with the idea that maybe we should have ethnic radio. And in fact, I still have at home some of those original broadcasts, right up to 1976. The broadcasters were not allowed to broadcast anything in spoken word other than the name of the songs that they were broadcasting and these incessant messages of how good the government would be to them with the introduction of Medicare. But once it started, they couldn't stop. And there is, I'm sure it's still there in the archives of the Special Broadcasting Service, a letter from a Turkish listener. And this used to be quoted quite often by SBS. This person wrote and said, "I love Australia. It's been wonderful to be here. But to hear my own language being broadcast for the first time gave me a strong sense that Australia loves me too." Because it was that connection with their heritage and with their ancestry. Now, I've done my little bit as a volunteer broadcaster, and as Inocio said, it's not easy. Broadcasting is not like many other things. You have to be there exactly at the right time. You have to be in front of that microphone. Your information has to be absolutely accurate. When you sit in that studio, and you would know this, you sit in that studio and there's only you and a microphone. But you know that there are hundreds, thousands of people listening to you, and you don't know who they are, you don't know where they are, and you don't know why they're listening. And that is a tension, but it's something that gives you an excitement. So ladies and gentlemen, today I think not only you're celebrating, but you can be sure that hundreds of thousands of Australians out there are celebrating. Australia thanks you for what you're doing. Not only those who speak languages other than English, but the whole of the Australian community thanks you for what you're doing. Because as Inocio said, you are a very important bridge, information bridge, between the homeland and in Australia. You provide that sense of security to migrants who've come here to make a new home for themselves. Migrants who've come here with a vision to establish a new future for themselves and for their children. But they still want to be reassured that their heritage, that their ethnicity, their culture is acknowledged and accepted. And you with your very hard work, your dedicated work, you work without seeking anything in return. You provide that security to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Australians. So they all thank you. I thank you also. I join them in thanking you. And I wish you many, many more years of success in your broadcasting venture. Thank you.